My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen carefully. You may have arrived at these words while carrying a burden that nobody else can see, but I want you to know that your presence here is not meaningless. You have walked through seasons that tested your patience, your faith, and even your ability to keep believing. There were moments when you wondered whether your prayers were reaching heaven, whether anyone truly understood what was happening inside your heart, and whether your circumstances would ever change. But I want you to hear this clearly: you have not been forgotten. I have seen every moment you thought nobody noticed. I have seen the tears you wiped away before anyone could ask what was wrong. I have seen you smile when your heart was hurting, encourage other people while you were struggling yourself, and continue moving forward even when you secretly wanted to stop. I know the weight you have been carrying. I know about the nights when your mind refused to rest and the mornings when getting out of bed felt like another battle. You may have felt alone, but you were never outside my sight. There were times when my silence confused you. You prayed for an answer, but instead you received waiting. You asked for a door to open, but another door closed. You hoped for something to change quickly, yet the situation seemed to become even more difficult. You began asking, why is this happening to me? Why does everyone else seem to move forward while I remain in the same place? But what looked like abandonment was not abandonment. What looked like delay was not necessarily denial. There were things you could not see because you were looking at the present while I could see what was waiting beyond it. Some doors had to remain closed because they would have taken you somewhere you were never meant to stay. Some relationships had to end because they were damaging the person you were becoming. Some opportunities disappeared because what looked attractive from the outside would eventually have brought pain into your life. You saw the door closing and thought you were losing something valuable. I saw what was behind that door, and I was protecting you. Your story has not been defined by the things you lost. The difficult seasons have been shaping you. Every disappointment taught you something. Every rejection strengthened something inside you. Every difficult night developed a depth in you that comfort never could have produced. You thought you were simply surviving, but you were becoming stronger. You thought you were being buried beneath your circumstances, but roots were growing underneath the surface. Think about a seed. When it is placed beneath the soil, there is a period when nothing can be seen. From the outside, it looks forgotten. It looks buried. But underneath, something important is happening. Roots are developing. Strength is forming. Preparation is taking place before anything appears above the ground. Your waiting season has been like that. You have mistaken hidden growth for being stuck. And now I want you to stop allowing your past to tell you what your future will look like. The mistakes you made do not have the final word over your life. The people who rejected you do not determine your worth. Your financial struggles do not define your identity. Your failures do not cancel your purpose. You are not the worst thing that ever happened to you. You are not the sum of your disappointments. There has been a voice trying to convince you that nothing will ever change. It has reminded you of every failure, every rejection, every painful memory, and every reason you should give up. But you do not have to accept every thought that enters your mind. Fear does not get to write your future. Shame does not get to decide your identity. Your past does not have permission to become your permanent address. You are still here because there is still purpose ahead of you. I know you have wondered how you survived certain seasons. There were moments when you honestly believed you would not make it through. Yet somehow, one day followed another. You kept breathing. You kept walking. You kept praying. Even when your faith felt weak, something inside you kept whispering that you should not give up. That small desire to continue was more significant than you realized. So today, release the belief that you have been forgotten. Release the bitterness you have been carrying toward people who hurt you. Release the shame connected to mistakes you cannot change. Release the fear of what tomorrow might bring. You cannot enter a new season while constantly holding on to everything that belonged to the old one. You do not have to understand every detail right now. You do not have to know exactly how everything will work out. Your responsibility is to keep moving with faith, wisdom, patience, and courage. Keep praying. Keep seeking what is good. Keep your heart open to the possibilities you cannot yet see. There is still more ahead of you than what is behind you. The chapter you are living right now is not the conclusion of your story. What you have called the end may simply be the transition into something new. The season of constant struggle will not last forever. The pain you experienced will not remain meaningless. One day, you will look back at this period and realize that some of the things you once cried over were actually redirecting you toward something better. You will understand why certain doors remained closed. You will recognize why certain people could not continue with you. You will see why the timing was different from what you expected. For now, breathe. Be still. And remember this one truth: you are not forgotten, your journey is not finished, and your future is not limited to what you see today. The waiting has been preparing you. The pain has been shaping you. The lessons have been strengthening you. And the story is still being written. So do not give up now. The very thing you thought was impossible may be closer than you realize. My beloved child, there is something you need to understand about the season you are entering. Your breakthrough may not arrive in the exact form you imagined, and that is why you must stop trying to control every detail. Sometimes you ask for one specific door, while a completely different path is being prepared for you. Sometimes you pray for one opportunity when what you actually need is an entirely new beginning. Do not limit what is possible simply because you cannot see the way forward yet. Your current circumstances are not a complete picture of your future. You may look at your finances and see limitation. You may look at your relationships and see brokenness. You may look at your career and see uncertainty. You may look at your own heart and see exhaustion. But none of those things have the authority to tell you that change is impossible. You have already survived things you once believed would destroy you. That should remind you of something important: difficult seasons have an ending. The night eventually gives way to morning. The storm eventually loses its strength. The wound eventually begins to heal. And the person who walks through the storm is often not the same person who entered it. You are becoming wiser. You are becoming more discerning. You are learning which voices deserve your attention and which ones need to be left behind. You are learning that not everyone who smiles at you is meant to walk beside you. You are learning that peace is more valuable than approval and that protecting your purpose sometimes requires saying no. Do not be afraid of becoming a different person. Growth will sometimes make you uncomfortable. It may cause you to outgrow environments that once felt familiar. It may change the way you think, the people you spend time with, and the things you are willing to tolerate. But growth is not always a sign that something is going wrong. Sometimes it is proof that something inside you is finally changing. Your next season will require a different version of you. The person who survived yesterday may need to become the person who confidently walks into tomorrow. That means leaving behind the mindset that says, "Nothing ever works for me." Replace it with patience. Replace fear with wisdom. Replace hopelessness with expectation. Not blind expectation, but the belief that your life can still move in a better direction. And when opportunities begin appearing, do not allow your past disappointments to make you reject them automatically. Discern carefully. Pray. Think wisely. Take action when action is required. Faith does not mean sitting still and expecting everything to happen without effort. Sometimes the answer to your prayer is a step you have been afraid to take. There will be moments when you must choose courage over comfort. You may have to make a difficult decision. You may have to forgive someone without returning to the same unhealthy situation. You may have to start again after failure. You may have to learn a new skill, pursue a new opportunity, change your habits, or finally believe that you are capable of more. Do not underestimate small beginnings. A single decision can change the direction of an entire year. One conversation can open a new possibility. One disciplined habit can transform your future. One act of courage can break a pattern that has controlled you for years. And when the good days finally begin to appear, remember where you came from. Do not become so focused on receiving blessings that you forget the lessons learned during the difficult seasons. Let your experiences make you compassionate. Let your struggles teach you how to encourage others. Let the pain you survived become evidence that someone else can survive too. The places where you once felt ashamed can eventually become places of testimony. The experiences that once made you question yourself can become the very experiences that give you wisdom. The season that almost broke you can become the season that taught you how strong you truly are. But most importantly, do not measure your worth by what you receive. You are valuable before the breakthrough arrives. You are worthy before the money increases. You are significant before the relationship is restored. You have purpose before the world recognizes you. Your value was never created by success, and failure never had the power to destroy it. So lift your head. Stop constantly looking backward. There is nothing wrong with remembering where you came from, but you cannot build tomorrow while living permanently inside yesterday. Take the lessons with you, but leave the chains behind. If you are waiting for something right now, keep your heart steady. If you are rebuilding, keep going. If you are healing, give yourself time. If you have failed, learn and begin again. If you feel lost, take the next right step instead of demanding that you see the entire road. You do not need to know everything today. You only need enough courage for the next step. And when you finally reach the place you have been praying for, you may realize that the greatest miracle was not simply what changed around you. It was what changed inside you while you were waiting. You became stronger. You became wiser. You became more patient. You discovered that you could survive disappointment without becoming bitter. You learned that rejection could redirect you instead of destroying you. You learned that silence did not always mean the end. So hold on to hope. Keep moving forward. Keep your heart open. Keep seeking God, keep praying, and keep doing what is right even when nobody is applauding you. Your story is not finished. There are still pages you have not read, opportunities you have not discovered, people you have not met, lessons you have not learned, and moments of joy you have not experienced. The chapter behind you may have been painful, but it does not have to determine the chapter ahead. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward knowing that your life still carries purpose. And when you finally look back one day, you may realize that what felt like a delay was actually preparation, what felt like rejection was actually protection, and what felt like an ending was actually the beginning of something you could not see at the time. Do not give up on your story. The best chapters are still waiting to be written.